Right, easy people. So the object of this particular video is to go through the end of my cup of tea and the engine mounts for a Triumph Acclaim. And yeah, this is one of those jobs that is insanely difficult. So the first one we'll do is on the back of the engine at this point here, which is a composite of two different particular pieces. So the first one is this piece here, which will go on with your engine mount, and then you've got the heat shield that protects it from the exhaust pipe, which looks like that. Okay, and that will fit on in this area here, so that will go on first. The second one goes in here, and that's where the dog bone bush goes. You have a bolt there and a bolt there. The third one is the stabilizer. So this is the bottom one at the back of the engine between the gearbox and the subframe. And you've got this cleaty rubber thing on the subframe, and that mounts in there to stop any excessive movement. So when you bolt that back to the subframe, leave it loose until we get it centralized. And that's held on with 18mm screws. On this side, another one that's a major pain in the backside, rather complicated. So the first part you'll see is that one there, and that goes on that side. It is relatively flat, so that will go from there to there. On this side, you've got one that goes from there down to the bottom where that bolt's poking out, and then on top of that you then get this, which bolts on from that point there down to these two bolts on here. Okay, so we'll start with the easy one. Easy, yeah, I suppose it's all subjective, isn't it? Let's see if we can get this one in here. So that's going to go in that hole there, near where the drive shaft goes. Oh, I am really having problems with my fingers today, aren't I? It would help if the engine didn't stop swinging around, wouldn't it? And then that one will go in there, like that. Before you bolt this on, make sure you've got the flywheel housing cover on. Flywheel housing cover is pinched by a loop at this point here, and then you've got a 10mm bolt up there and a 10mm bolt right up there. Right, normally you get the blue painted ones on this, but in this particular case I've decided to use stainless steel. Okay, that's good. We'll go around and tighten those up in a bit. Right. Next job will be, yeah, that top one there. And we will use one of those. It's about 25mm long. We'll put that through the top loop on this one here, lift that out into position, and then that should do it up. Just a couple of turns. Easy to do this without the exhaust manifold on. And you can see those line up there. Right, for that one, this hole uses, I think it's a 40mm. That's a 30mm. Right. So that 30mm will go in there. This one will be a 25mm, and that will go in there. So what we'll do now is get those ready, and we take our bracket, and we see that stud sticking out there. We put that one on there, and then lift that into position there. And we'll take the smaller bolt just to get it located like that, and again like this. We then take our flanged nut and we put that on there, and then what we're going to need is a bolt. It goes through there, and I forgot to prepare this one earlier. So just for now I'll use this dirty one just for, oh, hang on a second, nope, it's that short one there, because that has a thread. There we go. So that is the front engine mount and dog bone assembly sorted out. Okay, now you've got the bottom engine mount. Now we'll go around and have a look at the front engine mount. Ooh. So what I will do is I will start with the flatter bracket, and I will place that one in first. Like this, and like that. And then what I'm hoping to do is swing that out a little bit and see if I can get a couple of turns on that. This really is a two-hand job, if you catch my drift. Okie dokie. That's good. Now your dog bone's going to go here. So our first job now is probably to get a couple of turns on this bracket here, which you can see is slightly offset. So what I will do for now is temporarily pull this bolt out here and use that to just support the bracket whilst I dick around one-handed. There we go. Right, we'll lose that. We leave this fairly loose. I'm going to pull this bolt out again, and we will stick it in our to be fitted bolt here, and see if we can get these to line up. It would really help if this engine stopped swinging around like an idiotic thing, wouldn't it? Yeah, you get the gist, don't you? So that goes on there like that. This one goes in here, so that's about a 25mm. That will go in that little bit there. I really wish I had a second pair of hands. Do you get the impression this engine doesn't want to help me? Come on, Rupert, you're going back in the hole whether you want to or not. There you go. And there's the other one there, which obviously wants to go in at an angle because it's about as awkward as it can possibly manage, which is about right for the course. It's like that Dolomite Sprint engines, just like the Stag. I have never come across such a bunch of mechanical stuff that it wants to be so very uncooperative. It's almost like it doesn't want to be repaired. Okay, so there you go. That one will now fit on the subframe, same on the other side. I'll obviously tighten these up just in case you think I missed it. And it's the same with these. Your dog bone goes in there, your dog bone goes on the other side, and you've got your anti-sway at this point here. Right, that concludes the configuration of the engine mounts. The front engine mount is very simple. That'll just go on the front. You stick it in the car, put in the engine, and then slide it out and bolt it on. Really simple. So, in conclusion, engine mounts, horrible job, really nasty, very badly designed, just an absolute nightmare. I hope you found this of assistance. Laters.